What if the life you spent 20, even 30 years building, the career, the home, maybe even a couple of rental properties if you're lucky, is the very thing holding your freedom hostage? Because if you're in your 50s or 60s like me, and you figure you did everything right, you worked hard, you saved, you invested, but somehow your freedom still feels just a little bit out of reach, hey, you're not imagining it. And today I'm going to show you exactly why that's happening. And more importantly, what you can do to fix it. Because here's the part that nobody warned us about. There's a gap right between that not broke and not really free. And I call that the freedom gap. And if you don't close it, it will quietly steal your best years of your life. And today, I'm going to show you how I closed mine without selling any more real estate, without working a ton more hours, and without having to wait until I'm 70 plus to get there. Now, for those of you who are new here and you don't know me, hey, my name's Harry. I'm a grandpa and a pilot from the prairies in Canada. And I'm also a guy who spent 2 decades believing that real estate was going to be my freedom machine. And here's a little spoiler alert here for you. It wasn't. And if you'd like to have a sneak peek on how I am changing all this around, you can drop into the description right now and grab a copy of my Freedom Formula Blueprint. And you'll see exactly how I'm making it all happen. Because what I'm about to share with you matters, especially if you're tired of feeling stuck between all the responsibility and a little bit of regret too. Because let me assure you, the freedom gap is simple. It's just a space between not broke, but not really free. And here's what it looks like in real life. You're making decent money, but it disappears fast. You're not really drowning, but you're certainly not coasting either. You feel like everything's taken care of, but you're exhausted. And you also feel like you've done everything right, but your future and your retirement still feels very uncertain. And it shows up in small ways. You check your bank account before booking a trip. You're stressing over helping your kids with college. And you're checking your retirement accounts far too often. And you wonder if you'll be stuck in your office or your business for a decade longer than you planned. And probably worst of all, you feel guilty for wanting more than just bills and responsibilities. Because after all, hey, that's what everybody else has, and they make you feel like you should be happy with what you've got. And if that sounds like you, my friend, you're in the freedom gap. But here's the truth. It ain't your fault. Because if you're of my vintage, you were handed a plan that doesn't work anymore. Here's why. Number one, everything costs more than ever. Food, gas, home repairs, insurance, property taxes, mortgages, it all jumped big time. And number two, kids need help longer than ever. College ain't cheap, and parents our age are paying the difference. And number three, wages aren't keeping up. Be honest, did your paycheck go up 3 to 5% a year with inflation? Everything else did. And number four, real estate investment stopped being passive. And let's tell the truth on that one. Interest rates are up. Insurance is way up for less coverage. Property taxes are up. Repairs are endless. Trades are very expensive. And honestly, on paper, my rentals look great. In real life, I could tell you stories that would make you cringe. And number five, retirement isn't what we were promised. Freedom 55? Hey, try Freedom 95. That's probably a little more like it. But the thing is, you didn't fail. The system failed you. Let me take you on a little walk into the moment that it hit me. It was just an early morning, average morning. I was sitting on my kitchen table, cold coffee in my hand, and I'm staring at spreadsheets. And that was for the first time I really said it out loud. I'm not broke, but by gosh, I am definitely not free. And I started wondering, where's my freedom to travel when and where I want? Where's the freedom to help my kids and grandkids with what they need? Where's my freedom to fly all the airplanes that I still dream about? Because I honestly thought I did everything right. I had a hopping real estate business for 20 years, and yet I felt pinned. And that was the morning that I realized something. I wasn't chasing money anymore. I was chasing time. But real estate, well, it just kind of had me chained to repairs, surprises, stress, and a ton of what ifs. So I started looking at my options. And I'm not talking about the hypey stuff. I'm not talking about the get rich quick crap. I'm talking about real options. And here's what I found. Most income paths for people our age fall into one of three traps. Trap number one, they require way too much time. Consulting, coaching, service work, one-on-one stuff. And trap number two, they require too much money. More real estate, franchises, brick and mortar. All got to have a check first before you play. And trap number three, they require too much tech. And believe me, I'm not looking at becoming some IT guy at 64. But then I found something different. I call it digital real estate. It's like owning an asset that works for you while you're asleep, while I'm up flying, while you're hanging out with your grandkids or on that beautiful trip with your significant other. There's no tenants, there's no toilets, there's no trades, there's no emergencies, there's no 2 a.m. furnace calls. You build it once and it keeps paying. And because it's master resale rights, you make 100% of the profit. You don't have to share it with some upline or a franchise company. It wasn't another job, it was leverage. And I'll tell you what, people in their 50s and their 60s are crushing it online. And here's why. Here's reason number one: experience becomes an asset. Your stories, your lessons, your life. People are interested in that. Here's reason number two: you don't need to be a tech wizard. The tools that they have today are simpler than ever. And here's reason number three: e-learning is projected to be heading towards $1.5 trillion by 2033. And the fastest growing group, people over 40. And here's reason number four: your age is an advantage. You're grounded, you're trustworthy, you're relatable. And people want that. People are craving that. You don't need perfection. You just need presence. So now let me give you a clear roadmap. If you follow this, you're going to create margin in your life. And here's step number one: know what your freedom number is. For most people, it isn't millions. It's $2,000 to $5,000 extra dollars per month. Just enough to travel guilt-free, enjoy that steak every once in a while without having to worry about it, help the kids get a foothold without losing yours. And not just that, but build a nice, stable retirement cushion so you're not worried about those unexpected bills. And it just removes stress. You get your time back to do what you want to do. Find that number, write it down. And here's step number two: find your time leaks. Ask yourself, what drains my week? What surprises hit me monthly? Where am I losing hours of my life that I can't afford to lose? Because that awareness creates the opportunity. And here's step number three: what's your inventory? Your transferable skills. You've got a lot more than you think. You're a problem solver, you're great at communications, you're a manager, you're a leader. And don't forget parenting. And maybe you're like me, you've got a ton of experience in real estate. This is gold. This is your digital asset. Here's step number four: build one digital asset. Not 10, just one. A simple guide, a simple digital product, a workshop, a training, a blueprint, a story-based solution. Because that one asset can generate income for years. We call it evergreen. And don't forget, you don't always have to build your own digital asset. There are ways that you can create a super solid digital opportunity by offering products that you never even created. And here's step number five: automate the delivery. This is where the freedom happens. Automation can handle all the checking out, delivering the product. It can handle the follow-up, supporting your clients. And all of a sudden, with automations working in the background, your time becomes yours again. And you also never have to hear the word no, because the automations deal with all that stuff. And that's how you close that freedom gap without burning yourself to bits. So let me ask you something. What's been draining your freedom the most lately? Is it too many work hours? Too many repair bills? How about the college costs for the kids? Inflation? Are you seriously worried about retirement? Or is it just that fear that you're running out of time? Drop it in the comments, because I would love to hear from you and what's going on in your world. And if you want to see the exact steps that I'm using to escape the freedom gap, just pop down into the description below and grab your copy of my Freedom Formula Blueprint. It's totally free. It's about a 5-minute read, and it's helping other folks in their 50s and 60s create real retirement breathing room without having to bug friends and family, without having to learn a bunch of complicated tech, and without having to start all over from scratch. Because at this stage of your life, it's not about more work. It's about more life. And if you're ready for that, I'll show you that runway. So hey, once again, I'm Harry, and I'll see you soon.